Happy Wednesday, everybody. At Sports Guy Chris coming back at ya. I am super pumped up today, super excited. Why do you ask? Because today is the day that I simulated the Elite 8 round of games in my official 2020 March Madness bracket NCAA tournament simulation. If you've been following along, we started with the playing games, got our regular field of 64 set. Took that down to the second round or round of 32, moved on to the Sweet 16, and of course now we are down to the Elite 8. So today I went ahead and simulated those matchups. We are down to the Final Four. The simulations had some fun with us guys, of course. There's been a lot of surprises, a lot of upsets in there. A couple of matchups that, maybe could have been expected here, and then two that I think were probably completely out of the blue. So again, the simulation having some fun with us, and of course I just do it once. Whatever it throws at us, it throws at us, of course, just like real March Madness. I mean, I could sit and simulate 100 times or 1,000 times and it would give us some different results every time, but we're going with just the one, and it is throwing us some interesting surprises so far. So I'm back, we're ready to go guys. Hope everybody's hanging in, doing good out there. Let's jump into the results. So we had the Elite 8 set, and the first game in the Elite 8 round, so the first ticket to be punched, to the Final Four in the simulation. We go to the East region where the two surviving teams were the 4-seed Louisville and the 3-seed Kentucky Wildcats. We had a Bluegrass in-state rivalry showdown for a chance to go to the Final Four. It doesn't get much better than that, so the simulation really having some fun with us. And how did it go? So the Kentucky Wildcats, just like they did against Duke in the Sweet 16 round, get out to a big halftime lead. They jump out on the Cardinals 41-28, put it on cruise control in the second half, and they win the first game of the Elite 8 simulation, 77-65. Kentucky punches their ticket to the Final Four, the 3-seed out of the East region. So in a game that really was never really in doubt, Kentucky was pretty much in control the entire way. They win it by 12, 77-65. Kentucky into the Final Four. So there you go. The second of the Elite 8 round games took us to the South region where we had maybe the biggest surprises so far. The 12-seed Indiana had made it all the way. They were a play-in game winner. This has happened before where we've had a play-in game winner from that, very first couple of games go all the way through, get to the Elite 8 and even to the Sweet 16. Elite 8 all the way to the Final Four. Could Indiana do it? The Hoosiers were trying to not only do that, but become the first team that would have been seeded higher than an 11 to ever make the Final Four. So could they do it? They were taking on 10-seed Utah State, another surprise. The Aggies, of course, winning a couple of games there, including over Michigan in the opening round, Creighton, to get to this point. So the Mountain West Tournament champs, how did this one go? Well, congratulations to Indiana. The Hoosiers make history, become the first 12 seed to advance. Of course, another traditional power in college basketball going back to the days of Bobby Knight and so on. The Hoosiers are in 66-60. They use a 7-point advantage, 34-27 at the half. Hang on in the second half. The Aggies actually got it down to within one in the second half during the simulation, but Indiana was able to make some free throws at the end and do enough to scrap out the victory and become the first 12 seed to ever advance to the Final Four. So there you go. The next game took us to the Midwest region where my Wisconsin Badgers were hoping to continue their surprise run. The Badgers, a 4-seed, upset Kansas in the round of Sweet 16, 86-83. They were taking on Florida State, who had run through the tournament. They had a great game with Arizona in the Sweet 16 round. Florida State, the 2-seed. So what happened? The Badgers jump out to the Badgers actually and the Seminoles played to a 41-41 deadlock at the half. Wisconsin again goes to defense in the second half. They hold the Seminoles to 27 in the final 20 minutes. They rallied 38-27 in the second half. Wisconsin pulls away. My Badgers do it again. I promise I had nothing to do with this. If you go look at an ESPN simulation that one of their writers did, they actually ended up with Wisconsin winning it all. They used simulation number 2020 for the 2020 season, and Wisconsin actually won it in their simulation as well. So simulations giving us some crazy results if you're Badger fans. Of course, they'd won 8 straight to end the regular season. They beat Florida State. They're in the Final Four. Wisconsin, as the 4 seed, advances out of the Midwest region. They will play Kentucky in one of the national semifinals, and that takes us to our final game of the Elite Eight, getting us all the way down to the Final Four of the simulation. Again, a couple surprises. The 8 seed Colorado, 7 seed Penn State in the West region going at it. These were 2 teams that started the season hot. Colorado was 19-5 to start the season. Penn State 20-5. The Buffaloes finished the regular season just 1-5. Penn State 0-5. So there you go. Both of those teams finished the season slow, but we're hot earlier in the season. So what happened in a great game, maybe the best game of this round? Penn State held on to beat Colorado 67-64. They built a 41-30 halftime lead. They led by 10, 67-57 with just a couple minutes to go. Colorado went on a 7-0 run from that point. Penn State missed the front end of a one-on-one. Colorado had a chance to tie at the buzzer, but it was off the mark. Penn State hangs on. The third Big Ten team to make it into the Final Four, so the Big Ten was rated as the toughest conference all season long, and they get 3 in the Final Four. Simulation having some fun with this, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget a thumbs up, a follow. Stay safe, stay strong, stay positive, guys. Simulation, we're going to keep it going. We're down to the Final Four. Have a great day.